ask Ms. Shaw or myself for any kind of help that you need. So I'm excited to start on Tuesday and see everybody.
And I am Mr. Hart. I am proud to be the principal of O.J. DeYoung Middle School.
Yeah.
And we are very excited to welcome the class of 2027 to our school building. It's going to be amazing. So whether our students are learning in person or online, it's going to be amazing. And we look forward to meeting all of you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ms. Shaper-Cotter. I'm the principal here at OJ. And just like Mr. Hart said, whether you're online or in person, we're so excited to have students back in our building and have students back in our digital web, so to speak. We've missed you guys so much, and we're so excited for you to start your middle school journey. Is you know, a little bit unusual, but as far as the way we have to do it this year, but we're really excited to have you guys join us. So the way this is going to work, guys, is we really want you to ask questions. We've got a few 8th graders on the phone that will kind of act as our know-it-alls, so to speak, of kind of the ins and out of OJ. So what we would love for you to do is actually use the chat feature to ask questions, and either Mr. Hart, Ms. Shaw, Mr. Hull, or myself, or one of the 8th grade students will take those questions and answer them as they come. Sound good?
Thumbs up.
And Mr. Hart, yes, I did record. I missed the first few minutes, but otherwise we're recording. So, okay. So I guess what we want to do is, again, just say welcome. It's going to be a great year, different than we've all experienced, but it's going to be a great year. For those of you, we should probably talk about, you know, what it's like first thing in the morning. As you know, I hope you know that school starts Tuesday. So please come on Tuesday if you're going to be an in-person learner. So if you are riding the bus, you will get dropped off on the west side of the building. I'm sure at some point you have driven by and you've seen where all the buses are here at OJ. And from there you'll be entered into the building. You'll enter into the building, and especially that first week, there's going to be a lot of staff members out there to help guide you of where to go. This year, we will still be offering breakfast just like we do at all the other buildings. If you're going to have breakfast, you'll be directed towards one of the gyms. And if you are not having breakfast, you will get to go to Peterson Auditorium in the morning, and that's where you will wait until you get dismissed to your first period class. I'm hopeful, or I'm guessing, a lot of you have probably been to the auditorium at some point from kindergarten up until now. So again, we will have lots of staff members and adults out there to help you if you're not sure where the auditorium is. So you will stay there until we get ready to dismiss, okay? Dismissal, we will stagger just so that we don't have everybody out in the hallway at once. We need to make sure we're taking all safety precautions, and so we will be dismissing in a staggered process. I will be in the auditorium with you this morning, and who else is in there with me? It's not Mr. Hart. Oh, Shaper-Cotter will be in there with me as well. So we will be in there in the morning to help guide you and answer any questions, and just make sure you go where you get where you're supposed to be for your first hour. So yeah, so you can have breakfast. Otherwise, you go to your morning location. All right. But for those of you who are coming as a parent drop-off, you'll still get dropped off at the same place, and then you'll come into the building and walk down through the building to get to Peterson. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm sorry if I have to keep letting people into the meeting. So after that, once school has begun, we will, as I said, dismiss you. For the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, we will have copies of first period classes taped up in the hallway. So if you're not sure where you're supposed to go, you can find your name. You'll see all the 6th grade classes will be taped up together. You'll find your name, and that's where your first period class is. You will take everything with you, because at that point you have no idea where your locker is. So you will find where you're supposed to, your first hour classes, and that's where you will go. And again, I'm going to keep saying it, there's going to be lots of people to help you get where you need to be. I don't know about all of you. I'm nervous for the first day of school too, because it's my first day at OJ as well. So don't be worried that you might not know where everything is, because honestly, I don't know where everything is either. So I'm learning too. So I'm right there with you. So once you get to your first period class, you will get a new fresh copy of your schedule, because there is a possibility some things have changed. You will still have your core classes, you will have your exploratories, but you will have a fresh new copy. When you are in your first period class, that's where you will also get your locker assignment. So in the past, lockers, you've had the same locker all 3 years. As of this year, lockers are assigned based on where your first hour class is. So you will go into your first hour class, your teacher will show you where the lockers are going. Your first hour teacher will assign your locker for you, and that's the locker you'll have all year. At that point, you'll want to keep all of your belongings in the locker, like your backpack, your coat. We don't allow backpacks in classrooms. You just need to take the things that you will need up until lunchtime. So if you have like an organizer, like a trapper keeper of some sort, that would be great because you're gonna have to carry everything you need. I'm sure our 8th graders at some point will remind you of how important it is to be organized, especially moving into middle school and going to 6 different classes. So have everything you need. You will get dismissed again to go to your second period class. At that point, you go straight to your class. You don't stop at your locker. And so that happens all the way up until lunch. So once you are in your 3rd hour, your 3rd period teacher will let you know when it's time for your lunch. And at that point, you'll get to go to your locker again. And again, it'll be a staggered dismissal. So not everyone is out in the hallway together as best as possible. You'll go to your locker. You will drop off all of your items. If you have a cold lunch, you'll grab your cold lunch. If you have a cell phone, at that point, you can bring your cell phone with you. If you're having hot lunch, you'll be directed on where to go for hot lunch. But again, everything else stays in your locker. After lunch, you will get dismissed. You'll go back to your locker at that point and get what you need for the rest of the day. So we're just really trying to make sure people are not going to their lockers in between classes just to keep the hallways running smoothly. And if for some reason you get to one of your classes and there's some reason you do need to go to your locker, talk to your teacher once you report to that class, and they will explain to you how that works. Have I forgotten anything so far, anybody? Okay. So, Mr. Hall, can you think of anything I've left out at this point?
I'll talk a little bit about lunches.
Okay.
You know, after your 3rd hour class, you go put everything in your locker. One of the things we ask you to do, and it's one of our school rules, is leave your phone in your locker. You can use it before school, at lunch, and then at the end of the day. But otherwise, we want your phones left in your locker. So when you're coming down the hallway to lunch, one of the things, there's roughly 2 lines. There's a line on the right that's more a la carte to eat. And that's like a slice of pizza, or if you want chicken nuggets or something like that. It's more of a simpler meal. Stay to the right. On the left-hand side is more of a full meal. You could get like a cheeseburger, and it would be like string beans and applesauce and milk. And that would be on the left-hand side. If you have your cold lunch, you just kind of walk right through and sit at the tables. You will see signs on the seats of the tables where you are not to sit. We're trying to keep people spaced correctly apart. And so don't sit on those. You can still sit with your friends at those tables. I believe they allow 12 people per table based on where you sit, and it's kind of a staggered option. So sit down, enjoy your meal with your friends and things like that, but we need to stay in that room seated like that until that bell rings to let you go back to your locker and then to 4th grade class. Food is very good here. We expect you to kind of clean up on your own. You've had to do it in the past. There are a couple other options that we have that maybe you haven't seen before. We have really good wraps, chicken wraps and things like that. We have a salad bar, and so the food is really pretty good. You will enjoy your lunches. So enjoy your friends, and yeah, and we ask you to, as Mr. Hart always says, Ms. Shaper-Cotter, be an Oriole. Best behavior and help be supportive.
I'm wondering, do any of our 8th grade mentors, do you feel like I know sometimes in elementary school you kind of feel rushed, but now that when you get to middle school, do you feel like you have enough time to eat everything, like you have enough time at lunch? Yeah, Maggie says yes. Yeah, everybody says yes, so that's good because I know that happens sometimes in elementary school and you feel a little bit rushed, but so yeah, that's good to know that you'll have plenty of time to enjoy your lunch because nobody's mom or dads want you to come home with a lunch that hasn't been eaten. We don't like that. We want to know that you're eating. So let's see what else. Oh, that actually reminds me, I believe this year we cannot have food in classrooms. You will still be able to have a water bottle if you want to have something to drink that you'll be able to carry with you, but there will not be any eating in classrooms, which is a little bit different.
Piggyback back off that, it's actually really important that you guys bring a water bottle this year. Again, for safety reasons, we unhooked like the spigot that you normally when you go up to the water fountain to use just in the moment. Because it's kind of impossible to keep that as clean as it needs to be under the circumstances, that has been totally disconnected. So the only way at the moment to get water is to have a cup or a bottle or something. That sensor is still working. So if you bring just an empty bottle every day, you can get access to that water, but please make sure we're strongly encouraging everyone to bring a bottle or something to use so they have something to drink all day.
Just a reminder, again, as we're going through stuff, if you have any questions, don't forget you can just type them in the chat bar and we will address them as best as we can. But please don't, if you've got any questions at all.
Something new this year that you have not been used to is kind of an exploratory hour. You're going to be traveling to 5 different classes and your second hour is that exploratory. Exploratory means it could be shop, it could be PE, it could be choir, it could be band. There's a lot of different things that we offer here. That hour is divided into 2. There's an A, which is the beginning of the hour, and a B, the second part of the hour. Now we divide roughly that 70 some minutes in half, so that gives you probably about 36 minutes in that class, and then you would go to the other one. So that's about the only difference in your hours, other than being there for 70 minutes in your core classes, that second hour will be split. So on your schedules, you might see something where it's an A and a B, or it might be, you might have 2 classes that second hour, and that's why, because you are going to go to 2 different classes. They're just shorter in length.
The great thing about middle school is you do have exploratories. And so maybe you look at your schedule and you think, I don't like to sing, or I really don't want to go to shop. But this is a great time for you to go and try new things because you might be surprised. So when you see your schedule, if you're thinking, oof, I don't know that I really want to do that, try it. Because you just might surprise yourself and you might enjoy something that you really were not expecting to. My guess is some of our 8th graders could probably attest to that. There may have been times where something on your schedule and you're like, I don't know that I'm going to like this, and it probably turns out just fine. So it's good to get all these new experiences and just try out new things. And so that's what's great about middle school is you get that opportunity to do that. So let's see. I don't know. I see a question, and I'm wondering if maybe one of Mr. Hart or Ms. Shaper want to address that.
I'm happy to address the online plan. Hi, Sawyer. We're happy that you're part of OJ. The online plan, those iPads for our online learners are available today and tomorrow. For our face-to-face learners, you'll get your iPads next Tuesday when you come to school. What's going to happen with our online students is you're still going to have 6 classes. You'll have 2 exploratories in your 4 core classes, so math, science, social studies, and English language arts. To start the year, we're also going to have all of our online learners in an art class and a health and PE class. You'll log into the Edmentum system, which is where that's going to be. You're also going to have a Ludington teacher that's going to work with you. And those teachers are going to send times for things like Google Meets. And when they're going to communicate with you, they're going to have hours during their day to provide you help, like office hours and things like that as well. As soon as the logins are complete and ready, we will be sending those to students and parents and guardians via email. I will take more questions on that if they come up as well.
And I do see a question about schedules. When you log into PowerSchool, it does show the entire year. So just when you look at it, it'll go by trimester, trimester 1, 2, 3. Just focus on the first trimester. And again, when they get to their first hour class, they'll get a brand new schedule. And we'll also have those, the 6th grade first hour classes will be posted in the hallway. And if for some reason your 6th grader can't find their name, they just need to find an adult that's in the building. I'll be one of them, and I will be down in that area. I will help anybody I can to find out where they need to go. And again, they will get a new schedule when they go to their first hour class, and they will get to keep that. And we can print off more. So.
And you can just see trimester 1. If you go up to the top right corner, it will say like 2021 for the whole year. That shows everything. There should be a drop button right there that you can do trimester 1, 2, or 3 just to kind of break up all that kind of confusion. But as Ms. Shaw said, it also does say T1, T2, or T3 to indicate which it is, but there is a nicer way to do that. One of the other questions are desks sanitized after each use? Yes. Desks will be sanitized every time the classes change. So that will be something that happens every single rotation between bells, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What other questions might people have still?
Just so you know, so then after, at that point, we talked about lunch and going to your next, after lunch, you'll go to your locker, get the things that you need for the rest of your day. You'll finish out your day, and then you'll again get staggered dismissal by the color. Excuse me, I'll go over that in a minute. You'll get staggered for dismissal to go back to your locker. You'll get everything you need, and then you'll head home. When you get assigned your locker during your first hour class, you will notice that all the lockers have a color-coded sticker on them. There's like a big circle. I think they're like orange, black, silver, gold, and maybe something else. And that's how we will determine, you will be announced when to go out to your locker. It might be like, okay, anybody with an orange sticker on their locker, you can go to your locker. So pay attention to that and leave the stickers on there. So, does anybody have any other questions? So I'm wondering if our 8th grade friends, do they have any advice or anything that we didn't cover that you think it might be important for all of our new 6th graders to know? And if you do, feel free to unmute yourself and share it. You know more about being a 6th grader. It's been a long time since I was a 6th grader, and it was different too. So you know more about what it's like than I do. Anybody?
All right, I got a question for Maddie. Maddie, how do you, as a 6th grader, what's one of the keys for success as a 6th grader? What do you recommend to them? Asking Maddie. There we go.
Me?
We got you.
Organized.
Mm-hmm.
So organized, can you detail a little bit more? What do you mean by organize?
Well, I guess it's different this year, but like know when you have to go to your locker to get like which stuff for which classes.
Okay.
Maddie, I'm wondering if you have like a trapper keeper, how important is it to keep that organized?
A lot.
I've seen some of those. Yeah, I recommend folders. Would you recommend having folders for each of your classes?
Mm-hmm.
And separated? Yeah. I mean, if you can't do that, that's fine, but it's a good idea. So for Maddie and Jonah and Maggie, I'm wondering what has been your favorite exploratory class you've had so far? You can just jump in whenever. So
I really liked shop and art. I thought that those were really good, and band is also really fun. So
Art.
mm-hmm.
I really like STEAM.
Yes. Okay, that's good. Well, does anybody have, when will virtual schedules appear in PowerSchool? Well, Mr. Hart, you got that one? I'm going to toss them your way. You're down there on my screen. So.
Hi, Maltz. I see that's from the Malt family. So virtual schedules will be ready by tomorrow in PowerSchool is our plan as of the moment. But I can tell you that every student will have a math class, a science class, a social studies class, English language arts, an art class, and a health and PE class to start. And then the electives will change throughout the course of the year.
anybody have any other questions? This is a great time. I mean, anything you can think of. To our eighth grade friends, do they have anything? Can you think of anything we may have missed? We're just that good. Am I just that good being the new person? I got it covered. So, wow. Mr. Hall, what about you?
No, again, don't be afraid to ask. I'm serious. We're all here to help. Eighth graders, you know, you've got 3 familiar faces there. Ask somebody if you don't know. They're very, very kind to you. Teachers want to help you. When you walk through those doors, we're all new. I'll be new on Tuesday morning. Everybody will be new. Our 7th and 8th graders will all be new. So don't be hesitant. You know, it's kind of neat to go back and see some of your friends. We are asking you to, you know, to be that social distance and be safe that way with our current times. But it's going to be a nice reunion that you'll be able to talk and visit with friends and just, but be safe. Come in the morning, school, you're allowed, the bells will ring 10 minutes before school starts, which is 7:40. And that was when you'll be kind of allowed to go, staggered, you know, to your first hour classes. So it's going to be neat. We just ask you to have a little patience and help us too.
I see a question about free periods. Well, I mean, lunch is considered kind of a free period. You have lots of time after you eat to socialize and to chat with your friends. And then mask breaks. Masks are required and mandated throughout the district, and except for when you're eating. So when you are at lunch, you'll be able to take your mask down, but when you're done eating, you will have to put your mask back on. If you're in your classroom, clearly, if you need to have a drink, yes, you are allowed to pull your mask down, have your drink, put your mask back up, but otherwise masks are required. So. Trying to think if we forgot anything. So I don't know if this was in the first part of the video or not, but when you get your iPads this year, so the 8th graders already know this, but there is an app on there called Reach Out. And so if you ever need to talk in private with myself or Mr. Hall, Mr. Hart, Ms. Shaker-Cotter, you log onto that app and you fill out this form. It's all done privately. And so if you need something you need to talk to, maybe you need to do something with your schedule, that's the way you would want to do that. So if that's another point too, like if you need schedule changes, your teachers are going to tell you that you need to use that Reach Out app. We don't want people just coming, especially this year, just coming and hanging. We're going to have you go back to class. And then as soon as we get those notifications, we will get to you as quickly as we can. So that's kind of a nice feature to have, to be able to let somebody know that you need to talk or you need to report something. And it's all done privately. Yes, you do need to wear a mask. And well, yes. I mean, so for those of you, I thought I said, do we need to wear a mask every day? Yes, you need to wear a mask every day. You don't have to wear a new mask every day, but you should be cleaning them every day. If they're the disposable ones, after you're done with them, you need to toss those. If for any reason, I know a lot of people have made their own, that's fine. Just make sure they're getting cleaned regularly. I'm sure most of you probably have quite a few at this point. And if not, if for some reason you get to school and you forgot a mask, we do have extra ones here, the disposable ones that we will hand out if you need those. So don't be in a panic if you get to school and you're like, I forgot my mask. We will make sure you have one. So anything else? Did I miss any questions or anything? Are we good?
We have another question. It says, what does R1 stand for on the schedules?
That is a class. I don't know. I honestly don't know what being new, I don't know what the lingo stands for, but it is a class that students report to if they've been scheduled for that. So, anything else? Are you sure there's no questions? You can keep throwing them out there. Are we good? Looks like a couple people have left, but again, we've recorded this and we're going to do our best to get it put on to the website. So if you want to go back to it, our emails are up and running. So again, my name is Ms. Shaw, so mine would be jshaw@lasd.net. So you're welcome to email me with questions and I will do my best to get back to you. Mr. Hall, can you think of anything else?
No, I know it's going to be different for you. Your core classes are pretty much going to stay that way the whole year. We do have a little flexibility of possibly moving exploratories, but we ask you to try that first week going to your classes, getting familiar with the routines and things like that. And don't worry so much about what they are, but just get in the flow of things. And as we go throughout the year, we can adjust things as you go. So, and like Ms. Shaw said, that's what that reach out is for too. If you have a question for us, send it to us, and then we will respond either electronically, or if it has to be addressed in person, we will come and find you and invite you to come.
I do see another question about how many people are in each class, and our class sizes this year are smaller than in a normal year. In a normal year, our class sizes are about 25 to 29 students in a core class. And right now they're going to average in between the 15 to 20 range. It's going to allow for more physical distancing in class and more separation when you're sitting at your desks as well. So class sizes are a little bit smaller than in a normal year here at OJ. 8th graders, I don't know if you knew that yet or not, but your class sizes are going to be smaller, fewer kids.
All right, Jonah, in one sentence or less, what are you looking forward to this year as an 8th grader?
I'm just looking forward to seeing my friends again.
Nice. Maggie, how about you?
Same thing. I'm looking forward to seeing friends and stuff like that. And I don't know, getting back to sort of normal.
Good. All right. Maddie, how about you?
Yeah, like seeing friends and doing sports and stuff.
Good. Well, we definitely appreciate you as 8th graders and coming like that. I know you weren't bombarded by questions, but thank you for your time today. It's very appreciated.
Well, and I guess if there are no more questions, we'll go ahead and end this. And again, you can call the school, email one of us if you think of something that you need help with, or if you have a question about something, maybe you'll remember it after the meeting is over. And again, we're going to post this as best we can as soon as possible. But again, thank you for those of you who were able to join us. I'm super excited to meet all of you. Some of you are familiar faces for me. Maybe I'm a familiar face to you. I don't know. So enjoy the rest of your summer, and we will see you on Tuesday if you plan on being here in person. So bye.
All right. See you Tuesday.